we might see lots of kills going on.
I want to see Moscow playstyle with the FYG.
Yeah,
I'm waiting it since yesterday.
Actually, Guinevere is such a targeted pick against Moskov. So not only, of course, Guinevere, but Guinevere is the most one because, you know, using her ult, she might actually try to get to Moskov, but Moskov smartly actually used his Purify spell. So let's see.
Let's see.
All right, that is from our analysts. It's time to let the game speak. This is Game 3 once again, the decider, the final chapter of this series. Let's send it over to our casters to bring you the match that decides who moves on to the grand finals. Casters?
Thanks so much. Welcome once again. Final match between these two amazing teams. Aurora game FYG fighting for the grand final spot. And it's fine once again. It's one game down to it, Wolf. I gotta say, man, I like both drafts. You got some comfort here. And I know we mentioned this yesterday, man. They broke the glass in case of emergency. Loom got his Moscow.
That's right. Yeah. Unfortunately, we cannot have two good things at the same time. We're going to see utility versus utility when it comes to our junglers. I would love to see Super Ken on the Assassins for sure. But hey, we get the long Moscow, so it's fine. And we also get the Grok onto Pagu, which so far has been great. I mean, we have seen only the first minute of our battle in the mid lane, and they're already poking E1 as well as Zed. There's so many good picks here. Rosa on the Farsa, this is Stuff of Legends. One of his most famous heroes for sure, that he got known for. And then eventually, of course, we have the cloud from Sigiboom going up against Lungs Moskov.
Okay, so part of this, and also the interesting fact is this is broken walls, right? So that's of course going to have somewhat of an impact. I feel like, you know, when you look at broken walls, it's not a major change, but there are certain stipulations to that, especially depending on where teams decide to fight or how they decide to nice little take there for Super Ken, by the way. But this this Baksha, oh okay. No. Okay, they're not gonna follow it up.
Oh, there is the exchange. So Zed with his own wall against the Grok. Super Ken tanky enough for this. Yes, he will survive, but had to pop the ultimate, which is not the best, but he did take away some of the farm from TNZ. You know what the effect of that was? TNZ was at level 4. That's why Aurora Gaming decided to at least poke the FYG, maybe stop Super Ken, get into position into this turtle, as not having the level 4 on that Violent Reclaim is bad. However, Yi1 does not have his own level 4. So this is something that Aurora can actually punish. TNC is already looking for an angle in the mid lane. Will not catch anyone. Vel jumping in. Level 5 for Super Ken on this Baksha, which kind of prompts Aurora Gaming to not contest so hardly, but it goes the tech charge onto the backline, followed with the Violent Requiem. 2 members down just like that. Oh, for Aurora Gaming, and now it's Sigiboom going in for Yi1. Yi1 down. Another double kill for Sigiboom to start the game, and my goodness, 1,700 gold for Aurora Gaming.
That's about the best setup you're going to see from this kind of composition. I mean, a tech charge with that flicker, the penalty zone into the spatial migration Requiem. That is so difficult to deal with. I mean, what do you do in your case if you're DFYG and you get set up like that, you know? And that's... Hey, that's why the Grok was picked up first pick blue side. You always see this when the Groks are locked in by, again, these type of roamers. You have to give it up to Pagu. He is such a big part of why Aurora Gaming is doing so well in all their matches, right? That kind of setup, that kind of is very reminiscent of what we've seen from Light, right? From the other Aurora Gaming Philippines. And it's the same thing. Essentially, they follow through off of their roam just like they should, and they're able to layer their ultimates so well. And so when you're trying to do that, again, you don't have any scaling here just yet either with this lineup from DFYG. You need that time to go ahead and get that going. But if you're forced in that situation and you can't even survive through it, it's just an automatic death, you know, with that kind of setup potential.
Yeah, it seems like DFYG did not expect Pagu to have level 4 during that moment. Because usually during the turtle fight, you don't necessarily have the tech charge, especially the first turtle. But kind of felt like the FYG kind of hedged their bets in there. They know that might have overstayed their work. Up, and fence dash coming out from Zed. Sigibum's not gonna bite. They get out of there. Blazing do it just to clear it out. Zed popping the ult to get some tankiness. Pagu.
Is Pagu gonna go? Okay.
Not worth it. He gets out.
Not worth it. I mean, he was thinking about it, but yeah, they saw the rest of DFYG rotate up, and you know that's what that 2-kill lead will do for Sigiboom on this Claude. Again, you need time to build up on the Claude, but you get an early kill, it doesn't matter as much. You're already in pretty decent fighting form, at least when it comes to the lane, that you can actually bully the Moskov a little bit here. Now that this turtle's coming up, Aurora's going to have control of trying to set up around this objective. But DFYG doesn't really care. There's a final flash.
There's a flash into the real world manipulation. The tech charge onto just one. Super Ken is still tanky, but the kill onto Rosta. Super Ken being taken out. Tienzi claims the turtle. A kill and a turtle for Aurora Gaming in exchange for Rosta's life. They're going to be traded. Not going to be the case for now. They will not have enough control for this Arlet with a lot of dashes. Still a win for Aurora Gaming in turtle number 2.
Yeah, they get the objective. It is a trade in the kills, but again, not the target you want to go down. You know, it is Super Ken on the Baksha, but he doesn't want to fall further behind if that's the case. Now he's doing okay because again, you can rotate quite quickly, farm out the way you need to, especially when you're considering you're up against Guinevere. But again, Tienzi's just so aggressive on this.
Long is quite low.
The Revenge Strike.
Oh, Revenge Strike is gonna kill him. And Zed as well bites the dust. DFYG. They attempted to go for a cheeky play in the mid lane, bringing in their Moskov to farm, but Lunar is prepared for that. They didn't even have to pop the flicker for that kill. That's a lot of value that Aurora Gaming has gotten in the mid lane. Now they can even pressure the mid lane. Super Ken pops the ultimate just to prep for some wave clear out here. Also pops the ultimate. There's the final slash to step up for this. And there's Tech Charge again up to 2. Aurora Gaming are just destroying the FYG. Pagu didn't even have to be cheeky with that. That is such a straight up head-on collision that the FYG have lost.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's an exact reason why when teams decide to go in first pick Grok, you'll see why. Again, one of the best picked roamers right now in the current meta. Just so valuable, despite what happened in the patch here too. And it's just, you know, even with the Brave Smite, like he's able to go ahead and get a little bit of health left, you know, or get a little bit of health back when he uses his abilities. And Pagu, once again, DFYG is going to have an answer for this at some point. And, you know, what is the answer to being set up in multiple ways against this composition? Well, it's you would say, oh, it's just positioning. But the problem is, with positioning, how sometimes you can't prepare for it because Pagu on this Grok can just appear basically anywhere, and he's got a couple choices. It doesn't always have to be the tech charge, right? Like sometimes it can just be the Rampart to mess things up. Sometimes it can just be the swing, and sometimes it's that that auto attack passive that he has too. So like, there's so many things that a Grok can do that. I mean, you know, like that too. It just that's why I said the Rampart alone is enough to just mess things up for a team.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta stop talking Naisu because they might nerf. Moonson might hear you. They might nerf this Grok. Don't want that to see that, but it comes the real world manipulation. Not gonna be enough. Zed is taking out Super Ken. It's gonna be under 5 members of Aurora. Miraculously survives all of the damage from Aurora Gaming. But the damage has been done. The FYG are gonna defend the mid lane though. No one will actually get out of there. Aurora Gaming kind of felt like, okay, we don't need to risk anything. Let's just get out there. Yeah, let Super Ken live to tell the tale and tell his teammates to not mess with us. That's what they're doing right now.
You know, the fact that, yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive. Super Ken didn't die there, but it's like, you know, he is a Baksha. He's got the Tortoise Puissance. And, you know, they need to rely on Lung and Yi1 in an essence to scale up. Do they actually force a fight here? They still hold on to the tier 1. I don't think they want to. That's the thing. DFYG doesn't want to fight. It's more so of just kind of holding on at this point. You're 30 seconds away from the Lord. You know that you've had some time now for Long to farm up. He even got that tier 1 turret up top. So they might finally get it for Aurora up here as Sigiboom knocks it down. And, you know, that's the thing. If anyone was like, I want to see this Moskov from Lung because they've heard about it, well, this is one of the games where he's got to go ahead and lock in and turn things around once again. You know, as you see him on your screen here, Lung's done this many times. Yeah. So you, even though you see a 6,000 gold lead for Aurora Gaming's, you can't completely count out DFYG just yet. They have been able to go ahead and turn things around. The comebacks before Vel.
I want to go for Vel this time. Vel will be taken out. Easily coming up for Aurora Gaming. They had to commit the tech charge now. Violent Requiem for Yi1. It's down as well. Super Ken cannot help his teammates. Zen will have to flicker and ult. A triple kill already. Make that a 4. Make that 4 for Aurora Gaming. And that looked to be a very casual take on to the mid lane. The TFYG have lost ground. And now the Lord now being taken by Aurora Gaming.
All right, I was saying, you know, that you're going to have to play in the long, but unfortunately, man, if your team essentially gets wiped out in the mid.
Oh, no way!
No way!
No way!
I take it back.
Take it back.
What I was saying earlier.
No.
Just lean into long.
Oh my goodness. I was really waiting for it, and the camera angle was kind of difficult for us to see. But there was a split second where my visions kind of slowed down, and I saw that spear, and I was like, "There's no way, right?" And yeah, TNZ. Oh man, let's scratch their head. Still, the FYG. That's definitely a W, mini W for them, but there's still a lot of an uphill climb that they have to make. You know,
we've seen this twice, Wolf. Now with a Moskov taking the Lord when the jungler,
the same guy.
You know, it's. I mean. At one point you can't say, okay, it's just luck. Yeah. Like there's some calculation in there, man.
Yes,
like I'm telling you.
This is pattern recognition that we're doing. This is not luck anymore. Tech charge in the middle. Punish Zed. Push them back. Dead? Yeah, but he's probably dead now. And DFYG have cleared the minion wave for sure for that one, but yep, they were able to breathe a little.
So again, something like that. I know we always, you know, a lot of people react to it. I'm sure people in the chat watching were saying the same thing, but in reality, you steal a Lord. What it does do you when you're down this much? Again, this is a 9,000 gold deficit. It may buy you an opportunity in this game, you know, but that's a very small step in the right direction. And once again, this kind of lineup, with the way things have been going, is entirely leaning towards that. Your Moskov, whoever it might be, whatever team might this be, is able to go ahead and get that space to work with, get the damage off, you know, take out the people. But you look at the lineup from Aurora Gaming, that is going to be very difficult to do. No matter how locked in Lung is, the amount of work that's going to take, and for the rest of the team to catch up or allow him to do that is such a big task here. Again, you're talking about a Grok, a Terizla, who has a passive called the Body of Smith, which lets him tank up even more damage the lower health that he is. Plus, he has the wings, you know. So it's like the amount of time that needs to be bought for Lung to make it happen is massive. Now they have that potential, but you can see the items here. They're so far away as a team, right? As a team from being able to actually win those. Point is to go ahead and buckle in. They potentially probably don't even contest the next Lord. If they try to get in that position, they could risk losing these series, losing this opportunity to go to the grand finals here, because some of the defensive items now have to be in consideration too. You see the Winter Crown over here for TNZ. Wind of Nature just got picked up here for Siggy Boom. So, you know, those things are going to be troublesome. Plus, if Lung gets in that range, you see the Chastised Pauldrons there too.
That's right.
For Pagu. So that's really difficult to make that work. This spear, not going to land that one.
Yep. Aurora Gaming. They don't know that Super Ken is actually in here. They want to go for Zed. That is the sacrifice.
Oh, can he steal this?
Can he steal this? Nah. No drive-by for you, and Super Ken definitely going to be punished. The FYG sacrifice 2 of their heroes, and they will not get anything out of that. This is how dire the situation is for DFYG. Now the defense. They do have the Eve. That's E1. And no tech charge for now, because they have committed that against Zed. And Aurora Gaming gonna be waiting for this opportune moment. Vel has to pop the Fire Slash just to speed up clearing that minion wave in the middle. And fortunately for the FYG, Super Ken and Zed will respawn in time for this defense. It's gonna be tricky. Pagu has the flicker, has the tech charge now. Lunar as well. Battle spells and ultimates available for Aurora Gaming. Pagu with the wall. Eve very early with the ultimate. Lunar wants to answer this Eve. They would not be able to take him out for now. Lunar's actually in trouble because
Lunar's
this
still
one,
alive.
he survives just enough with a sliver of HP. The body of Smith working wonders. My
Oh, the
goodness,
spear.
somebody blocked that spear. And he survives. Lunar is alive. Bell isn't though. There's the tech
tech.
charge catching two with a combo of that wall. And now they have taken out two members of PFYG. Aurora Gaming, they can feel it. They're now jumping in. Long in trouble. The base in shambles. Super Ken trying his best to defend, but it's not going to be enough. Aurora Gaming